A little bit ago, I made this first concept for a necromantis, but this illustration is kind of like a first stab at the idea. So in this video, let's explore the design a little bit more and make it ready for an actual hero shooter. So like I said, this general idea is kind of just a necromancer praying mantis. While we have the general idea for the character decided, I still want to explore all the potential for the character. So first, I want to do some mind maps, kind of just exploring each of the tropes, the necromancer and the praying mantis, to get all of the ideas that might be cool with either of these ideas down on the page. This is a way for me to fast track my thought process and make sure that all of those cool little ideas that I think of, I actually keep track of. Once I run out of ideas to write down, I'll actually start to do some more research through Google or maybe even like YouTube videos. I watched this praying mantis video and it was really eye-opening because I had preconceived notions about praying mantises, but there are so many different things that praying mantises can do. And so this research step is really useful to make sure that I can maybe represent that in the design. Also, as I'm writing this stuff down, I'm actually thinking like, how can I make these two tropes work together? What is the best way that I can actually combine these two ideas? Something that I'm really liking is how, necromancers, they're kind of like associated with death, of course, and bugs, we don't associate them with death, but we think about their weird life cycle and how, mates will kill each other or they just don't really live that long. They kind of eat each other and stuff like that. So I think that there's really cool potential there. So now that I've got a bunch of ideas kind of listed down and I have a good idea of what I want this design to kind of end up being, I feel comfortable getting into some sketching. This is why I like to start with researching and planning, because it allows me to really fester and cook and think about a bunch of different ideas before I start drawing so that I have a bunch of ideas to draw down. When I go straight to sketching, it can end up being like blank page syndrome and I don't really know what to draw. Or I only have one idea in my brain for the character, which then at that point, there's no real reason to even sketch at that point. You already know what the design's gonna be. I also don't really like gathering too much reference at this point because it might muddy my brain and not allow me to really explore what might be coming straight out of me. So all I'm gathering in terms of reference is mantises so that I can actually represent them well and make the design actually look like a mantis, and traditional representations of necromancers so that I can kind of understand what makes something look like a necromancer versus like a wizard or even a knight. The goal here is to not only try to explore cool ideas, but also make sure that the sketches actually look like a necromancer and that he has some sort of interesting praying mantis symbology. But anyway, during the sketching phase, I really like to keep it loose, which is why I work in my sketchbook. And it's when I get the most in the flow state. After exploring a bunch in my sketchbook, I've come up with 3 different general ideas for the character that I want to explore moving forward. So the first idea is kind of like that first one from that first illustration. The second one is going to be a little bit more like a wandering necromantis, so like kind of like a rogue. So I want him to feel a little more mysterious, maybe a little more dangerous like an assassin. I'm also thinking it would be cool to explore multiple limbs or maybe just like extra arms in general. And for the third one, I want them to be kind of like a multi-legged shaman necromantis. So maybe they'll have like religious iconography, like beads and really robed, and maybe they'll have like tattoos or hieroglyphs on their body. So now that I know the 3 ideas that I want to move forward with, I move into VR sculpting to kind of start on a base for all 3 of them. This whole design actually started a while back when doing this first sculpt, but now that I'm designing different versions, I want to make adjustments to this original sculpt to essentially just make 3 different models for each base ideation. So this is what the model for the first ideation looks like, but for the second ideation, I'm adding more of a human look, adding multiple arms that work like binding pincers, and I gave him a weapon that's a little bit more like a bow staff with dual scythes on each side. With this guy, I want him to feel a little bit more like a rogue assassin while still maintaining that dark death magic vibe of a necromancer. For this last sculpt, I want to lean more into a praying mantis. So I actually gave him like 4 legs and that kind of weird tail thing that they have, and I put him in a posture that feels a lot more like a mantis. I also want to push him to feel more like a shaman, so maybe giving him bead necklaces made of bugs and maybe a tome that he pulls his curses from. While I'm mainly focused on giving them very different identities so that they feel like totally different pathways or designs, I'm also really trying to make sure that they have different silhouettes. So like subtly different headpieces, posing, clothing, things like that. And once these are in a good enough place, I bring them into Blender, add some lighting I think is cool, and then render them out for Photoshop. As soon as I've got these in Photoshop, I'm basically just trying to actualize what I was already thinking about during the planning phase. So for the first design, I just want to recreate that first version of him. A pretty creepy face with gnarly teeth, and a flowing cape of bugs. However, for these other 2, there'll be a bit more thinking involved. When making these original sculpts, I'm really just getting general shapes down, but now, I'm thinking like, what are the actual forms of his hat? Do I add some creepy eyes to the hat? Does that maybe look too goofy or too cute? If I add some vials to his belt or like bug bombs, how does that look? A lot of my decision making is really just like, would this be sick? Okay, let me try it. Does this look good? Okay, let's keep it. I like to keep my process fluid so that I'm not really too attached to one version of the design when it might have much more potential. Also, for me, I really like a design that feels very wild and out there, but still has some technology to ground it and make it feel like it really exists and has some functionality and limits. So you'll see me adding things like joints, lights, paneling, and bolts, because this is just a really easy way to make the functionality and purpose of each part of the design clear. So now that I've explored the designs and I have kind of like these 3 general ideas, I'm not entirely sure which one I want to move forward with and have as the final design, but this is actually a good time to start on the abilities. So starting to plan like what can this character actually do in game, and this will actually help inform like which design suits the abilities better. Which abilities feel the coolest and which design goes best with those abilities. So I do this process very similar to how I would do this with like mind maps or even sketching, where I basically just go into my sketchbook and start writing down general ideas that I feel like excite me the most and feel the most right for the character. So to be less vague, basically, I'm gonna write down the things that I think are the most important mental associations with those tropes. This is kind of like what I did with the mind maps, but the mind maps were like wide exploration and every single little thing that might be able to help me represent those tropes. But in this case, I really want to nail down like what are the 1 or 2 things that really are the essence of each of these tropes. So literally right here, as you can see, for the necromancer, I think of summons and commands the dead. That's like the most important thing when it comes to a necromancer. If a necromancer doesn't do this thing, then they're not really a necromancer in my mind. And then I wrote down a couple more things that I feel like are a good opportunity direction for the character. So death and rebirth, draining life energy, so like consumes things, and maybe curses. For a mantis, really all it's trying to do is survive and eat other things as well. So the main thing that a mantis does is its quick attack with its pincers, right? It grabs enemies, or like insects, I guess, and then just like holds them there and eats them. And then I also wrote down disguise / camo, because that is something that I think is pretty important when it comes to a praying mantis, because they're ambush predators, right? So this might be a cool opportunity for the character. Maybe they're an assassin that uses either camo or invisibility to ambush their enemies. So now that I have these general pillars for what I feel like has to be included in the design in the kit, I can then start to think about what are the best abilities or actual things that would maybe fit in a hero shooter for this character. Essentially, if someone were to play this character in a hero shooter, what would reinforce the power fantasy of this like undead necromancer praying mantis type of character? So one of the most obvious abilities I think that has to be a part of his kit is summoning different types of bugs. Probably coming from the ground because that's where bugs come from, but also it reinforces the necromancer zombie trope, right? I thought it could be cool if he has like some sort of swarm ultimate, so he summons a bunch of bugs maybe, and they all like attack the enemy and like consume them all at once or something. Maybe with him being a necromancer, if he kills an enemy with that ulti, he can control that character. I think that would be pretty cool. So then I start writing down a bunch of different types of bugs, because that might help me think about different abilities and use cases. So things like potato bug, cicada, a dung beetle, mosquito, cockroach, other mantises maybe, spiders, centipedes, and ticks. Of course, there are other bugs that are actually probably more iconic, so maybe like a ladybug. But I think a ladybug is too cute in our brains for this character to use. Also, maybe something like an ant, but again, ants I don't think have an iconic thing that they do that would work really well with an ability, if that makes sense. So in this case, I was thinking, what if he has like a cicada that he can spawn, or a bunch of cicadas that's kind of like a sound-based stun? Maybe it's like so overwhelmingly loud that it stuns them, or maybe even just like deafens them so they can't hear enemies' footsteps or something. I was thinking maybe like a leech or a tick could like attach or burrow to an enemy if you hit them with like a melee or a certain type of attack. And then maybe that ability would either do damage over time, or it would mark them for some sort of damage in the future. With the burrow ability, what if he had something like a hatch ability where he kind of hatches all of the burrowed ticks or leeches that are attached to enemies? This could be a really interesting ability to kind of incentivize him to take longer fights, so that if somebody gets really low, he can kind of just click that button and instantly kill them. I think the burrow ability also kind of feels like a curse ability, so it's kind of like a long-lasting effect in the game. which again works with both of the tropes. With all of these abilities, I don't want them to feel specifically like a necromancer thing or specifically a mantis thing. I want it to feel like it actually makes sense for the character as a whole. Something that I didn't know about mantises, they're actually able to dash very quickly in a direction because they have like wings, right? They're not really wings for flying around like crazy, but more so for either dashing in a specific direction really quickly or like hovering or gliding to a certain spot. So I was thinking with the necromantis, maybe he could either glide to get to different vantage points, or he could use those as like a short dash ability. I think that goes well with the ambush predator kind of mantis vibe and the power fantasy of being able to be like kind of an assassin, right? I was also thinking it would be cool if he had some sort of drone. So maybe he uses like a dragonfly or something like that. And he uses that for recon or tagging an enemy with the burrow ability. I also think death and rebirth being such an important part of both of these tropes, it'd be really cool if he could utilize that in some way. So maybe that's his ulti instead. Maybe he could like deconstruct into a bunch of different bugs and burrow into the ground and maybe come back out in a different spot, do a bunch of damage in that spot, or mark a bunch of people with burrow. So after doing all of that exploration and kind of sitting on it for a day, this is the final kit. I think this character would be sick as fuck. It would probably work really well with the actual power fantasy. I could so see myself actually wanting to play this character. But now that I know what the actual kit is gonna be, I can now create one final ultimate necromantis. So something I like to do when I do ideations like this is I like to go through after sitting on it for a day and make notes about the things that I like the most and the things that I don't like or need to fix. So in this case, I wrote down the things that I like about the middle guy. The middle guy is kind of my favorite. I feel like he has the strongest identity and I'm just the most hype about that character. And then I wrote down a bunch of different things that might be able to be added. So I was thinking maybe adding some trypophobia to his skin. I feel like that just makes sense with him having a bunch of bugs. Maybe he has bugs burrowed in his own skin. Something I like about that first iteration is that belly reservoir. I want to implement that somewhere in his design. I also really like the canisters on the first design. If I can implement that on the main design, I definitely will. And then for the third design, I really like his kind of cape shapes, the way that it's flowing. And I also really like the beads and how much cool detail is on that head. So if I can implement that somewhere in the main design, I definitely will. But we're not done just yet. Now I want to spend some time doing some certain callouts for things that I feel like need to be resolved to really sell the pitch of this character, right? So firstly, I'm gonna do a quick little call out for his arm reservoir, just to understand how it might actually work if we're actually playing as this character in game, right? And you're shooting like this, you've got your hand out like that, or like this. Pew, 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 pew. How is it actually going to, reload and actually make sense as a weapon in the game? So with this, I tried to show not only the details of his hand, so the wraps, the weird veins to show that he's not really quite alive, but also how does he actually reload this canister? So maybe those two metal pieces kind of pop open, the reservoir pops out, and then he reloads it from a canister that's like in his bag or something, right? Anyway, I think you guys get the point, but now I want to explore what might his face actually look like his mask underneath the helmet. I think up until this point, I wasn't really sold, does he have a human head under there, or is that helmet actually his head? I think I like the idea of him posturing kind of like a mantis, but he's actually still just a human. So I explored a few different face masks, some just being wraps covering up his fucked up face, or maybe he has an actual mask that kind of like mimics a mantis's, whoa, why can't I say that? I'm like genuinely stuttering. Or maybe he has a mask that actually mimics a mantis's mandibles. Holy shit, that's a mouthful. So I think that idea is pretty cool by having the mantis's mandibles. So I'm gonna go forward with this one, but I'm not just gonna leave it like this, I'm actually gonna render it up so that it can actually fit with the main render. Okay, so we're almost done, but before I show you the final design, I wanna mention, I recently put out a hero shooter character design course. So have you ever had the coolest character idea while playing one of your favorite games? If so, then you and I are the same. But if you don't really know how to bring that character to life, then I made this for you. When I started with character design, I really struggled to find a process that actually worked for me. But over the years, I've curated kind of like a formula or a step-by-step process that I use for every single one of my character designs. I use this process to not only try to make them as cool as possible, but also believable and functional for an actual hero shooter. So this course is actually designed around that formula. We start out with planning the actual project that we're gonna design for. We generate our cool hero ideas, we explore the potential of all of those ideas, and we bring them to life through abilities and presentation. And I made this course so that you can design your characters your way. Whether you have a cool ass idea for one of your favorite games, or you want to design your own brand new hero shooter, we go into the thought process for either of those pathways, and you'll have personalized homework depending on the pathway you chose. At the end, you'll have your own fully actualized hero with all of their abilities and everything basically ready to be plopped into the game. And not only that, but this course is designed to provide you with a thought process, a formula that you can use over and over so that you can hopefully end up with a whole roster of heroes. So what are you waiting for? Let's get into it! Anyway, here's the final design, the Necromantis. Let me know, what do you guys think? Is the design sick? Would you add different abilities? And what hero do you want to see next? If this spawned a cool new idea in your head, drop it in the comments, maybe I'll make it. All right, thanks for watching. Peace.